The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Arvell Reese or David Bailey? That is the debate for the Jets with the number 2 pick in the NFL draft. And we have 2 regulars on the show who are on opposite ends of the conversation. We'll talk about that and much more. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Wish you could have been a Jet, Fernando.
Let's see what happens.
What's your message to the Jet fans in New York?
Jets, Jets.
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you had a great weekend. Click that like button. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We are presented by FanDuel. Gangrene Draft Party coming your way Thursday, April 23rd at McFadden's in Pittsburgh. Just a stone's throw away from the NFL Draft location. Tickets to our event are free. All you need to do is just RSVP. And if you want to go to the NFL Draft, tickets to the draft are free. So make the trip to Pittsburgh and hang out with a bunch of great ASMANIACs. We will be partying all day long, starting at noon at McFadden's in Pittsburgh on April 23rd. With that, let's talk some Jets football. And we say hello to Robbie Sabo of Jet X Factor and Frankie V of uSTADIUM. If you follow either of these guys on X, you know they are on opposite ends of the spectrum in regards to what the Jets should do at pick number 2. Robbie believes the pick should be Arvell Reese. Frankie believes the pick should be David Bailey. So, gentlemen, we got a lot to debate. Robbie, I'll start with you. How we doing? You ready to go?
Ready to go. Frankie, much respect for hopping on. It's talent, like cojones. It's not a lot of people would do that. So much respect. Everyone in the comments. Frankie is my dude. You know, you watch some people and he's got the disposition where you laugh in a good way. You know what I mean? Frankie's personality is it just makes me, I don't know. It makes me smile. But still, there's going to be a David Bailey funeral today. You know.
Oh, is that why you're all in all black? I wore my own black tee, Robbie. I wore my own.
That's yes, I intentionally wore this for the funeral. Yeah.
No, I appreciate this, guys. I didn't know it would get done. I know Jake had proposed it and was messaging with Robbie, and it was cool for you to do this. I love debating. You know, I'm Italian, Robbie. I'm sure you are too. I mean, this is what we used to do all the time. That's part of being Italian. You just argue till the death. So this will be fun. Maybe we come to some conclusion. Maybe we learn something about each prospect that we didn't know before. That'll maybe sway us more in one way or the other. But no, I appreciate this. Seriously, this is going to be fun.
I'm looking forward to it as well, guys. So let's kind of get right into it here. I'm going to moderate the debate and allow you guys to each make your points. And we'll go back and forth, and we'll let the chat decide ultimately which side they are in more agreement of. We also will have a little ASMANIAC madness on our show this morning. We have a great one featuring the 4 versus 13, Papa Jet 73, and Derek, the Kansas Jet fan, squaring off. So keep that in mind. And I also want to announce this because we're about to get into it. End of our show this afternoon, Kevin Mawai Hall of Fame inscription signed jersey is the raffle prize. So as you watch these gentlemen debate, we're going to give away a signed Kevin Mawai jersey on our shows today. With that, let's get right into it. And Frankie, I'll start with you. Make the case why David Bailey should be the Jets pick at number 2.
All right, cool. So I put together 10 points. I was going to say the 10-something commandments. I couldn't find a good way to say it, so I'm just going to start, right? All right. The Jets last year, we were second to last in sacks. All right, second to last in sacks. We had 0 turnovers, 0 interceptions, excuse me. We all know the stat. And we had 4 turnovers all year. Those were both historic lows. Nobody was disrupting anything defensively speaking. There weren't tip balls up in the air that were easy interceptions. It was just so vanilla, everything we were doing defensively. Arvell Reese didn't have a turnover at Ohio State. And he's not looking, and my second point is looking at 8 games, Robbie and Jake. I watched 8 games with Arvell Reese every snap. The games I watched were Michigan, Indiana, UCLA, Texas, Illinois, Rutgers, Washington, Penn State. Arvell Reese proved to me that he's a very good linebacker, maybe a great linebacker. There is no justification or no indication of him being a great edge player. He barely played edge. Even when they lined him up at edge, they would do delayed things with him on the outside, or they'd have him drop in coverage, which, by the way, he's very underrated at doing. He can drop in coverage with the best of them. So to me, Arvell Reese is a linebacker, not an edge. The edge, the pass rush stats per pass rush snaps that he had, the metrics, that's him on delayed blitzing and blitzing as a linebacker. He had, I counted in those 8 games, he had about 2.5 sacks strictly playing edge. 3, he doesn't have a rush tree. Arvell Reese doesn't use his hands and have like a secondary move as an edge. There's obviously no spin move. There's nothing he does on the outside, get into the quarterback, that would give me any indication that he could be an elite or even a very good edge in football. 4, I think teaching somebody like David Bailey how to play against the run, or at least be suitable enough against the run, which he was at times last year, is a lot easier to do from a coaching perspective than getting Arvell Reese to be a full-time edge, which I actually think would be a mistake for his sake. You look at the stats too. I won't go through all the numbers of what I'm going to say, but Sonny Styles had basically identical edge production as Arvell Reese did in those situations. You're talking about a Matt Patricia defense that they sort of put together to get Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese easy looks at the quarterback and easy lanes, or those guys are so athletic, they make it look easy. Sonny Styles actually had more pressures playing edge than Arvell Reese did. And Sonny Styles, a lot of people think the better linebacker than Arvell Reese is as an inside. Both debatable things. But again, you're talking about a guy who's playing in a defense that really allows a lot of flexibility. With David Bailey, go through all the numbers. His numbers compare to what Von Miller did at A&M, to what Myles Garrett did, Aiden Hutchinson, Nick Bosa. He's got longer arms than Arvell Reese. He's got bigger hands than Arvell Reese. He's an edge by every sense of the word. He gets to the quarterback at a rate of 22% plus, which was more than Jared Verse, Abdul Carter, and Will Anderson did in college. I understand that David Bailey's not those guys necessarily, but the production that he had every year went up. Last year, he was a menace, second out of 850 edges in pass rush grade. The year before, he was first, back-to-back years. That's an edge rusher. You draft an edge second overall. You don't draft someone that could be an edge. That honestly, Robbie, if you have tape of Arvell Reese getting to the quarterback cleanly, not cleanly, but off of a non-clean situation where he has to go to a secondary or tertiary move, show me. I haven't seen it. I saw we know the Penn State sack. We know the sack he had against Texas, which was, again, a delayed situation. There's no indication looking at the tape that Arvell Reese is a full-time edge. The Micah Parsons comp to me is a little bit fraudulent, and it's like once in a generational kind of talent like Micah is. Parsons had 192 tackles, guys, in 2 years. Reese had 112 in 3, no forced fumbles. Micah had 6, and the amount of TFLs Micah had, Arvell Reese had 1 TFL his last 6 games at Ohio State. 1, 0 sacks. To me, there's no comparison in terms of a guy that can transition to edge. If you want to say Arvell Reese could be a really good linebacker, I'll buy it. And I actually think he will be. You want to say he could be Fred Warner-ish, I'll agree with that. But to say that this guy at second overall, you're going to transition him to edge and he's going to give you 12 sacks a year based on his ability to anchor, I'm not looking to find an edge that anchors. I'm looking to find an edge that gets to the quarterback. But sorry I went long. I had my points. I'm passionate about this. There's nothing on tape that I saw that would convince me that Arvell Reese could play edge at an elite level in the NFL. Nothing. Linebacker's another convo. But then we have to bring up Sonny Styles in that conversation also. Just throwing that out there.
All right. Frankie V has made his opening argument. Now we hand things over to Robbie Sabo to respond to Frankie and then present his case for Arvell Reese at pick number 2.
Okay, so really quickly, by the way, I got those emails and I'm working on that. It's got a bunch of them up already and ready to go. So later
You're
on,
the man for that. Thank you.
We'll get into it.
Okay.
Basically, when we get deeper into the film, we could pull up anything. So, all right,
Okay.
good opening statement. Here's in a nutshell. To me, it's edge defender. It's not edge rusher. The case for Bailey is all about edge rusher, and thinking that edge rushing is the holy grail of this position. It is not. When looking at the tape, Arvell Reese is by far the better defensive player, and it's not even close. He does all the little things. He has a nose for the ball. He could shut down guys in space on his side of the football field. NFL is a huge in-space game. Bailey can't do that. At the point of attack, Bailey gets not beaten. He gets obliterated. Anyone who drafts him right now, he can only play 8 to 10 plays a game, period. He is that bad against the run, in which I don't even know how you could put him on the field. It's that bad. Reese is not. Reese could do everything. It's a matter of understanding where the league is today, too. Seattle, great defense, best defense in the league. Didn't have a crazy sack guy. Led the I think 3 guys had 7. It's not about a one-track mindset where you beat a blocker with your hands, you go around, you elude, and you try to get the quarterback. If a football player says, to hell with my responsibilities within the structure of a defense, because he wants to get those sack numbers, he could surely do it, but he's going to hurt his defense. And that's what happens with Bailey. With Reese, he won't get the numbers, but he does his job to such an incredibly better degree. That's one thing. Number 2, how does it look? I completely disagree, by the way. Off-ball linebacker for Reese, I think that's the biggest criticism. He is more edge than anything. He is by far the more prototypical NFL edge over Bailey, and it's not close, whether it's run defending, whether it's edge play, whether it's boxing, whether it's scrape exchange. Coverage, he's okay. He could do it. You could put him on the second level, but in terms of coverage, off-ball linebacker, he has some talent. You could play him in a joker. You could put him at edge. You could put him on the second level, and at 3-4, it works a lot better with Reese. I don't know how Bailey could play in space. It's rough looking. He's stiff. When people get nightmares about Vernon Golston, Ohio State, Reese, Bailey's the Vernon Golston. He's stiff like Golston, not Reese. So 3-4, Reese fits a lot better. Big 12. Who's the last great Big 12 edge to make it? I mean, the days of Von Miller, Myles Garrett, Oklahoma, when the Big 12 was the Big 12, are gone. This is a powder puff league, my friends. Base is 3-3-5. It's air raid. It's open. The last 2 years, look at the first and second round. I don't see anyone where they're taking shots because, you know why? 3 drafts ago, Tyree Wilson, Texas Tech, bust. Will McDonald, Jets fans, how do you feel about Will McDonald? The more he gets on the field, the worse the Jets defense becomes. I disagree also that you could teach guys to run defend. No, you could teach them much better to pass rush because pass rush is secondary. Pass rush doesn't matter unless you stop the run first. If you get your ass beaten and blown back, what's the point of a pass rush? Nothing. The Jets, how would the Jets defense look like if Will McDonald and Bailey are on both sides? My goodness gracious. Pats would drive the field every time, 12 plays, C gap, B gap runs. Good night. No chance. So there are so many ways to attack this. Just the modern game is not about Reggie White, old school Kevin Green, just pin your ears back, go after the quarterback. It's a quick passing league. It's 3-step. It's in and out. You have so many more responsibilities. You have to squeeze. You have to contain. You have to be 1 of 11 within a structure of a defense, and I just don't see that from Bailey. Bailey is a one-track mindset, just flying like a bat out of a hell, trying to get that number, that quarterback, or if it's against the run, play in the run like it's a pass rush where he works his hands and he goes around. it's not going to work at the NFL, especially coming from the Big 12. It's just not. It's not. So Reese, in terms of pass rushing, he could easily be a better pass rusher than Bailey at the next level. I mean, you're crushing the stats for this guy, but it's per the projection, 119 pass rush attempts for Reese, 480 for Bailey. If you look at the sacks and pressures, Reese has more. You want to talk about delayed blitzes? He did it from the edge as well. He did it against guards. He did it in a multitude of varieties, whereas Bailey did not. Out of position, we want to talk about with off-ball Reese. Bailey also played inside a lot, like McDonald, that 5-tech, that 4-eye, which is very common in the Big 12. That's out of position as well. So Bailey also has the out of position issue where he likes to be in a 2-point stance. And he was playing inside at Texas Tech. So I think that's a good opening statement. We can get into the film, but the bottom line is Reese, as a better all-around football player, is the guy, and it's not even close. And I think the more we get to the draft, the more the tape will be watched by these teams, and Bailey's going to drop. He just can't hold up against the run in the Big 12. How is that going to translate in the NFL? I don't understand.
1 minute, quick response from Frankie here before we start getting into some of the film.
Yeah, Robbie, listen, I am not debating who's a better all-around outside linebacker. My only debate is Arvell Reese cannot get to the quarterback like David Bailey can. He just can't. I'm telling you, David Bailey has such aggression and plays with his hair on fire. Even some of those run clips I had sent you, we can't play some of them because Jake said they'll get flagged, and I appreciate you downloading them.
Yeah, if you look at the library, we got the library.
If you look at that, you're telling me based on what you see there that there is no way, the way that guy plays and how physical he is and how athletic he is.
Who's physical?
David Bailey.
No, he's not.
Robbie, look at the first couple clips on that on that play sheet. I say you look at the first clip, how he just jacks up that tackle.
One example, like
Robbie. I have like 8 or 10. I wish I could play him on the air because they'll get flagged. But if we can play him later, Robbie, his best games too, Bailey, were against Oregon, right? He had 9 tackles and a sack. BYU, he had a great game. Utah, against those 2 tackles, he had a sack and a pretty good game overall. Like David Bailey, in my opinion, when it's to me, it's not edge defender. Also, it's always been edge rusher. That's the position. Robbie, Von Miller, they said the same thing, right? I looked into the combine notes on Von Miller. This is what Lance Zerloin said on NFL Combine. Von Miller may lack the size to consistently anchor against the run. It's a concern. Myles Garrett even says, has to work overtime to set a strong edge, gets uprooted and widened out, looking to get around blockers. Aiden Hutchinson, same thing. Run game instincts are just average. You're always going to get that, or a lot of times you'll get that with an edge guy who is constantly thinking about getting to the quarterback. I get the fundamentals are off.
Can we talk about after Christ was born? I mean, Von Miller, that was the old Big 12. Let's talk about the new Big 12. This is not an elite conference.
It's not, but the competition that he played against when he played his best football ball against Oregon. He controlled that game, man. I know they got beat, but
see, we can go through the Oregon game. He flashed on screen and on the broadcast, but in terms of his responsibility within the structure of the defense, he failed many, many times. And that's what people don't say.
I agree with you about the 4-eye technique stuff. You're not wrong. When he does play that and they run his way, that's a huge liability. And he'll look to jump a gap or two around the guards or tackles just to make plays. But Robbie, the guy is such a freak athlete.
That's such a red flag. He's out for himself. He's not thinking for his teammates. That is at times red flag in my mind.
Don't you think Texas Tech, though, taught a little bit that way? It seemed like they gave
there's definitely
flexibility to kind of.
There's definitely some more freedom for him and certain players in that defense than other teams, 100%.
Yeah. It seemed like at times like they were okay with him sort of doing some wild stuff. Yeah. Listen, I like Reese as a linebacker, Robbie. I actually came out watching those 8 games, liking Reese more as a linebacker than I even had originally thought. I just cannot wrap my head around how is this guy going to be an every down edge. I wouldn't play him there. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't play him every down at edge. I like his delayed stuff. Do you see how many times he also spies the
But
quarterback?
you're only thinking about getting to the quarterback right now. What about run? What about everything else? Run defense, spill, fill, box, all that stuff. Like that's the stuff where it's not even close. In terms of pass rushing, I still think Reese projects better based on the competition, based on the projection in terms of numbers.
Really?
Yes, yes. But even still, throw that away. I'll grant you, Bailey is a better pass rusher by a smidge. I'll even grant you that. In that instance, I still think it's not even close.
I just, when I looked at Bailey's tape, I said to myself, this guy plays at a different speed. And I agree with what you said, that Reggie White, Kevin Green, sort of Lawrence Taylor kind of guys. Listen, is that ever going to go out of style, though, in the NFL? A guy that plays that physically? Like, yes, he does need to sharpen up a lot. And I agree with you for the most part about he's a liability against the run. But he does make some plays against the run. He was second last year. I don't know if you heard this stat. He was second in run stops out of all edges. The first edge was Zion Young, who's considered a great edge defender. And third was Keldrick Falk, another guy who's really good against the run. Bailey was ahead of Keldrick Falk in run stop percentage at 9%. The average edge is around 7.5. So that's not an end-all be-all stat. Like, you can stop it and then get torched the next 3 plays, so it means nothing. But I just look at David Bailey's tape, man, and I'm like, there's no way this guy can't be taught how to be at least an average run defender. And you're going to get a guy who's going to give you 13 to 15 sacks a year. Whereas,
No, hold on.
Easier to teach run defense in physicality and positioning when that's physicality and strength, as opposed to using your hands off the edge in speed and bend.
Do you know David Bailey's like a freakishly strong guy? Like, he's not Will McDonald. Will McDonald doesn't squat 550 pounds, David Bailey's like a strong man, huge hands, like long arms. Like, he's not, to me, Will McDonald to me is like, looks like a wide receiver out there sometimes playing edge. I don't know. I do see him against the run at times, like try to like not know what's going on and get washed out. And by the time you know it, he's 6 yards down the field and you're like, what the hell are you doing, dude? I'll give you that. Yeah. I do see that for sure. And I'm not blinded by that. Like, I'm not going to lie and say that doesn't happen, but a lot of that stuff, I think it's just awareness on his end. I don't think it's like a physicality thing. I think if you got a good coach in there to teach him how to, set your edge a little bit better and not want to bounce around everything or find easy ways out. But I sent you a clip where he did get double teamed. He had some good leverage. He did play.
Yeah, we're going to show that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more instincts. It's more instincts to me, and football instincts and having a nose for the ball. And I'll give everyone the best argument against Reese. Here it is. I don't think it's edge. I think he's the perfect edge. Yeah, I don't think it's position, the positionless stuff. Here's the best argument against Reese. Why did he not play as much last year? What happened? And I know he was a sophomore. They had a loaded defense, but why, if he's so good, why did he not get inserted into that lineup? So when I look at it and I try to break it down, is it something between the ears where he wasn't picking up the defense? That's the thing I go to. I think it's overblown. I don't think that's the case because he contributed greatly. And as soon as he came in, he was a leader with Styles. Styles, absolutely the one alpha leader. Reese was 2, but they were doing a lot in the 3-3-5, 3-4, 4-2. He went back on off ball. But hey, I'm going to be fair. That's the best argument against him.
Yeah. All right, hold on. You guys don't acknowledge the bell here. I'm stepping in to moderate some things here. We're going to get to some film. If anyone has a question or wants to comment specifically on a point made by either Frankie or Sabo, the best way to make sure it gets read is if you super chat it in so I can see it. I want to acknowledge a couple of gifted memberships because for those of you who tuned in late, we are going to raffle away a signed Kevin Mawai jersey on our shows today. So make sure you enter before this show ends for your chance to win. Black Gypsy has gifted a membership. So did Doc Jet Fan. So we're up to 2. And then our pal Anthony Logerato is the first Asmaniac today to send in a 5-spot. Hit it. The film portion of the debate is coming up. But speaking of debates, right now, it is time to vote in ASMANIAC Madness. Here is where things stand right now as we head towards the next round in our great tournament. We are going through each region of the tournament. Right now, we are in the Dangerous Alliance region. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Papa Jet versus Derek, the Kansas Jet fan. The 4 versus the 13. Your vote determines who advances to the round of 32. Ladies and gentlemen, voting for ASMANIAC Madness here on a Monday morning is underway.
Who's gonna be the best of the bunch? ASMANIAC Madness. You get to pick the ones that make the show rock.
Good luck to both of these guys. They're awesome. Someone's got to win, and you'll see here as we make our way through. Adam is too cool won on Saturday, and now we find out who Adam's opponent is. It's either Papa Jet or Derek, the Kansas Jet fan. Vote, vote, vote. Your determination, your votes determine who will advance to the next round in the greatest tournament in all sports. Speaking of the greatest tournament, the actual March Madness will get underway this week. We're presented by FanDuel. Here's your look at the national title odds to win the 2026 National Championship. Duke is the favorite. You see the odds there up on the screen, followed by Arizona, Michigan, Florida, Connecticut, Purdue, Iowa State, Houston, and Michigan State. You could bet on the NCAA tournament over at FanDuel, so check it out right now. Fill out your brackets and bet on any of the games, any of the action with FanDuel. All right, gentlemen, who would like to go first in the film portion of our debate? I know both of you have clips. Robbie, I know you're helping Frankie.
I have so many. I hope I'm not looking distracted. I have so many videos going on.
Sorry, I respect you for downloading my stuff. It's like this is like two lawyers going at it, and he's actually helping me present my own evidence, which is actually nice.
It's all good.
I don't know
actually,
if I would have done the same, but I'm kidding.
It's all good. You know, it'd be great if we could just have a running film.
Yeah, you want to throw up anything? Yeah, that's fine, Robbie. Whatever you think.
We'll start with
You're the film guy.
I cannot find a certain one, but
give me any clip you want just to get us rolling here.
Yeah. Piers Morgan. Let's go.
In the meantime, Doc Jet fan wrote, and after looking at the film, I believe that if you're not going to trade Will McDonald, you have to draft Arvell Reese and not David Bailey. Hopefully, I'll get to tell you why later. Doc, I see you on hold. We'll get to your call in just a little bit. But, Robbie, I know you have talked about this, that you don't think it's crazy to talk about Will McDonald potentially being traded if they were to take Arvell Reese.
He doesn't fit. Now, he could always be the sub-package rusher. Obviously, that would be the goal right now. When you look at Joseph Asai and Enikbare, they are more Osai, but they're much better against the run. They're heavier. They're perfect edge in a 3-4 against the run. Asai could do a little bit in the passing game, but you want Enikbare on the second unit. So the way I see it right now is Asai and Enikbare as the starting base edges with McDonald as the number one pass rush edge. So they're greatly in need of that edge. And I think it's Reese who's going to be the jack on the weak side with Asai on the strong side.
I disagree there under one premise there. I would think it'd be the opposite, because you almost don't want, like Robbie was saying, I don't think you want ideally David Bailey playing next to Will McDonald, although I'm fine with it for a year. I'm good with doing it for a year. I mean, you
don't have a defense if you do that. You just don't have a defense.
You might have a lethal pass rush, though, Robbie. Like, we're going to give up a lot of yards.
You have to stop the run to set up pass. You have to be in 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9 to let those guys loose.
Who's going to get to the quarterback if you have Will McDonald's out here? You have Arvell Reese there. Who's getting pressure on the quarterback? Guys will be able to have a cup of coffee. Arvell Reese.
Who did it for Rex? Who was Rex's great pass?
If you're telling me Glenn can scheme some stuff up, then maybe. But
who did it for Seattle?
Seattle had a bunch of guys. Byron Murphy up the middle was a beast.
But that's
they had what's his name? DeMarcus Lawrence was still there getting pressure. They had some guys that knew how to get to the quarterback.
But that's the point. It's the modern NFL where it's 3-step, it's out. Those situations are few and far between. So you have to have all around players. But who is this? Penn State.
All right, Robbie, I'm going to put it up on the screen. We now can see it. Can you highlight?
Didn't see it before?
Yeah, this is the first time I've been able to see your plays.
Okay. So as Frankie said, here's Reese right here on the second level, toying around, coming down to the edge. Penn State slides right. That they recognize it correctly. Zero tech. So it's an odd. Well, it's not an odd, but it's 3-4 principled. Reese off the edge. That's Shelton. I mean, that's an NFL. I don't know if he's definitely going to get drafted. I think he is.
That's his best sack on tape by far.
But
that one and the one against Illinois where he jacks the guy up.
But like it's. Yeah, the was that against the guard? Because there's one against the guard,
right?
Too.
One against the right tackle that he just.
No, there's another one against the guard. There's a bunch. See, there's a lot of reps. There's a lot of plays where he doesn't get the sack, and you could see that pass rushing potential. So here he is bouncing. Penn State does a good job. O lineman recognizes it right away. Like it's steps out, didn't get out quick enough. Did he cross? Yep. Cross, just ducked. It's
he hit his hand down too. That's his best, one of his best pass rush plays. I actually highlighted that before on my Twitter. I'm like,
yeah,
if this guy can do this consistently, that's a clean lane though, Robbie.
Yeah, that's a clean. I mean, what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with a clean.
No,
lane.
there isn't. But
where's Reese on the field here? Show us.
Yeah. So the pass rush moves, those individual things. I'm not saying they don't matter. They matter, but it's such a small fraction of the entire pie. Here is Cotton Bowl, Reese up top, second level, but it looks like an odd. So it's 3-3-5, 4-2 into the 3-3-5, pure edge. What he's going to be playing with the Jets. 3-4 principled, edge, Reese up top. Pistol 2x2, so he's on the tight end side, and we're going to see it from another angle. Now, here's Sonny Styles. Also, people don't like hearing this who like Styles, but when I watched Ohio State this year, every game, last year, this year on tape, not last year, but when Reese started making a huge impact, he made the greatest impact for the defense. And I'm not saying I don't like Styles. I love Downs. I like Styles too, but I think Reese made it happen. He raised the level of play for everyone else as opposed to the other way around. Now, this is great run D, even though I think it was a decently positive play. So he played edge in a way. We're going to see it from the other angle. The split, great job by Miami here. Tight split, GT. Okay, Beck sees it. Okay, shift to 3-3-5. Reese down, Beck changes. Ohio State talking, Sonny Styles barking. There goes the D tackle. The split here, this wide split between the Y and the left tackle is what really made this play pop. Now, as an edge defender, you got to see this. You have to provide resistance. You have to cut down on that space. Read it. Base, extend. He attacks into him and moves him back. That's a hell of a job right there because it cuts down so much space for his teammates. He has to respect the edge. Because he's the edge. He's the force defender. So 4 has a decision to make. What do? I got to play it patient, try to get to the C, or do I try to bounce it out? Reese almost makes the tackle. Sonny misses the tackle. So this is the stuff when watching tape, and we'll do it. When watching tape, it's about responsibility for each person on the play. And that responsibility oftentimes doesn't show up in the box score.
Yeah, I agree with you there. That's Arvell Reese at his best. And I'm surprised he missed that tackle because he doesn't miss many tackles. Like
but that's not a missed tackle.
No, it's not a missed tackle. Yeah, I'm just surprised he didn't make that tackle at all.
Yeah.
Because he's once he gets his paws on you, it's game set match. He's really good at doing that. I mean, he's always in the right position. And I agree also, Robbie, that there's an argument to be had that because Arvell Reese was able to do what he did, it allowed Sonny Styles and Caleb Downs to sort of shine in their regard. Yeah.
By the way, with this film, I got so many videos up. I'm just going to play them randomly, and we'll talk about it.
All right.
What is
this?
This
is the Texas game against Arch Manning.
This is the full tape. We can't do this.
You want to watch the full game, guys?
Yeah, we could have it going in the background. All right, this is the full game too. We don't want that.
You know, these responsibility clips, Robbie. I mean, I like the Bailey clips, just him screaming off the edge, just knocking dudes back, doing spin moves.
I get it, dude. I get it.
I'm kidding.
I totally get it. And we'll show him too. Like we got pass rush Bailey here. So this is another one. I don't even know what this one is if I touched it. Nose tackle in a 1. There goes Reese. Just another great edge shot. See, this is an example where this is a big boy. This is Miami. And his responsibility on this play, what's the situation? Situation always matters too. 2nd and 5. Okay, so 2nd and 5. Weak side, so strong left if you're the defense because the inline running back also on that side, but the flow will most likely come this way to the weak side. Reese is pretty wide.
That's the Markel Bell guy, isn't he? The 6'9" left tackle.
Don't know. You would know better than me. And he's
6'9", 350 pounds. Guys.
Is he that big? I didn't even know he was that big.
Yeah.
So the strength at 342 on top of the freakishness to be able to cut down this space, squeeze it, and move this guy puts his defense in such a moves him back, puts his defense in such a great position. It's stuff like that you go, holy jeez. He had, not only is he a freakish athlete, is he strong, but he has the wherewithal to carry out his responsibility, and it hurts him in the box score. It absolutely does. So, what else do we got here? This one might be interesting. 3rd and 4. Okay, huge situation. 3rd and 4. We might have done this one on Asman's show already. Where's Reese? Oh yeah, he's up top. Turns the corner again. Is that Shelton? But that's not a sack. It's not going to go in the box score as a sack. He makes the play though. It's as good as a sack, 110%.
I agree with that.
And these
that was his best
everywhere.
game, Robbie. I thought off the edge was Penn State. He gave that guy fits, man. That guy. They should have sent him more that game. That was
Shelton. I don't know.
They didn't need to though. But
I don't know where he's going to get drafted, Shelton.
I don't know either.
But 3rd and 4.
I'm not a fan, but whatever.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want him either. 3rd and 4. Classic 5 down, 5-1, 3-3-5 if you want to call it. Downs here, 0 tech. Tight, 4-eye. So they're trying to cut down on tight. Really came from 2 4-eyes trying to cut down spread rushing in between the tackles, reduce those guys inside a little bit. Outside. Now here's Reese. What's his responsibility on this play? 3rd and 4. You can't just go crazy and rush the passer and pin your ears back, because if you do that, you might screw your teammates. So what does he have to do? Why does he delay at the start? Why does he delay? And why is he in a balanced stance as opposed to a sprinter stance like he normally is, like this guy to the left? Hey, does anybody know?
Say that one more time. You broke up for a second.
Why is he in a balanced ready stance, 3rd and 4, as opposed to a sprinter stance like this guy right here, like he normally is?
He's trying to hide what his intentions are.
Is he in coverage there for the running back out of the backfield?
It's because it's 3rd and 4. It's a balanced down. It's run pass. Look at the split here with these two. Stack, tight, crack. If he goes crazy and just tries to go for the pass rusher and they clip him and they have a crack on, he gives up the edge on a 3rd and 4. So instead of being in a sprinter stance, ready to sack the passer, just having that one-track mindset, he goes, okay, I got to make sure, corner of my eye, the crack isn't on, because if the crack's on and I'm not ready and they clip me, I give up the edge for my defense. And then once he knows he's good, he turns the corner. It's that stuff that's just littered across the tape. And
littered across the tape?
Yes.
You sure about that?
The IQ instincts.
The IQ instincts, yes. I'm talking him getting off the edge like he did there. I'm not sure. I mean,
it's littered. It's littered for the opportunities they gave him. Yeah.
Now, Frankie, let me ask you this: why do you think Reese is the favorite to go second overall.
Because
Like, obviously, it's not just Robbie's thought on this. He's the betting favorite. Many of the top draft guys think he's the best non-quarterback in the class.
Well, I think the Jets defense was so bad last year that you're looking at finding a guy that can do a little bit, I guess, of everything at a top level. Whereas I'm looking at it at a place where pass rushing and getting to the quarterback kind of solves all your problems, even if you're a liability in other ways. Reese is a better linebacker or a better edge, like outside linebacker overall than David Bailey is. But I think the pass rushing is where things start tipping the scale for me on Bailey's end. Jake, I've been watching tape. Robbie's right. Robbie's thinking like a coach here too, right? And like you're going to have Glenn go in and look at how Reese is never out of position or rarely ever. He's a very fundamental linebacker or OLB or off ball, whatever you want to describe him as. He's not out of position ever. He doesn't miss tackles. He's always in his gap assignments. Coaches love that kind of stuff. They're being taught and they're listening and they're executing what the defense is telling them to execute. Bailey's a little rogue and crazy, man. Bailey's like going off the edge like a maniac, and he's going to drive some coaches crazy and he's going to give up big plays. Like if we draft David Bailey, there's going to be an outside run where he tries to jump around and it's going to be a 40-yard, 50-yard run, but he'll get you back. He'll get you back with a strip sack, which Reese really doesn't do. He never did it once. So, I mean, he'll do it, I'm sure. Listen, sometimes turnovers, I'm not stupid, or it can be a little bit luck. There's a little bit of luck at play there, but
yeah,
of course there is. But dude, Bailey, I mean, he had what, 10 forced fumbles. I mean, he's right up there with some of the top edges that are in the league right now and what they did in college, TFLs. He's just disruptive, Jake. I think we need someone to finally disrupt things, you know? Like Reese is a safer pick in my opinion. Reese is just like, all right, he can play outside linebacker. He'll be in his gaps. He'll give you value there. You're not going to run on his side much. And then, like, I don't know.
But is he safer in terms of thinking about pass rushing, or it's like, you know, shutting down one-on-one tackle in space off the edge is so massive. Now here's Bailey too. This is good and bad. Here's Bailey right. Well, I won't give it away, but dip flies by him. Now, look, you look at it and you say, great play. I mean, great
job.
job.
Where Bailey is again for those, like,
Okay.
circle him with your mouse so we see.
First of all, situation always matters. 6-0 game, end of the first half, 6-0. Field goal makes it a 2-possession game. 29 seconds left. 1st and 10. Here's Bailey right here. Now, this is a classic at the NFL level. Coaches are going to go nuts. You're on the field side. You got all this room against trips, 3-by-1. What do? Do you try to get the sack at all costs, or do you play it safe and squeeze it and try to be physical? He flies by. That is such an irresponsible play. I can't even tell you. It destroys his defense.
His first step's amazing, though.
Oh, dude. His hands.
His first step is like he's constantly like a yard.
I don't think
that is a little bit irresponsible. I'll give you that, but
I don't think. By the way, Frankie, I think he could absolutely be a pass rusher at the NFL level. I just think it has to be specialized. It's all hands, not all. I'm being unfair. It's mostly hands, elude, straight line after he does his thing, tries to get to the quarterback without any other considerations really in mind. And
can you show the sack that he had against Oregon? I'm sure you have that up.
Which one is that? There was a tackle for loss I have too. I'll show that.
There's a sack he had against Dante Moore, and it looked like Dante Moore's back was gonna like snap in half. I'm just saying, like like when he gets to the quarterback, he wants to like hurt the guy.
By the way,
I'm not
in
saying
terms of mentality.
In
terms of mentality, I think Reese. I'm not trying to crap on Bailey. I think Reese has the nasty, angry mentality. After he ran his 40, he was cursing up a storm.
I think they both do.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Which one was this?
I think
Reese is right here playing the 5. I'm sorry, Bailey. Yeah, he just gets. This is. I wouldn't take Bailey off my board. And by the way, we talk about out of position for Reese. Texas Tech put him here a lot in the interior. This is he's never going to play here at the NFL level.
He can play in there, 5 technique. I mean, come on.
Yeah, so I don't understand why that's not being talked about. Now, they did it more later in the year, not early. But it's at the point of attack. I wouldn't take Bailey off my board completely. I just view him more in line with McDonald. Mid, even late first round pick. Like if he goes to see a defense that has a great defense already set, structure is really sound. If he goes to a team like that, like Seattle, he could pick up 5-6 sacks and wreak havoc, 8 to 10 plays a game. No question. I just don't know how you play him all 3 downs.
Jake, I think I could play one of these clips. I don't know. I'll play one on my, because I can't play them all. Because
what was was it BYU, the physical run defense stop?
No, it's this one. Can I share this clip, Jake? Just this one here.
Screen share, Frankie. But in the meantime, let's pause the film breakdown for actual Jet breaking news.
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
Justin Fields has been traded to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Whoa!
According to Adam Schefter, Jets finalizing a deal that will send Justin Fields to the Chiefs pending physical. Other teams were interested, but Fields' preference was to go to Kansas City. So we will see just how bad the Jet coaching from a year ago was, because Justin Fields is going to the best place to go if you're trying to develop as a passing quarterback. So we'll see how he does as one of the backups for Patrick Mahomes potentially. But Fields to Kansas City, we are awaiting what the compensation is. Maybe the Jets pay some of the salary to get a better pick, or if they're not going to pay any of it, it's not going to be much. You're talking about probably like a late day 3 pick, but I'll keep checking to see what the compensation is. But Justin Fields, breaking news, traded to the Kansas City Chiefs. So Fields off the Jets. You wonder if the Jets get some backup quarterback signings this week. Right now, it's just Bailey Zappi and Brady Cook as the only quarterbacks behind Geno Smith on the roster. So I'll keep everyone posted on that. It's probably going to be some sort of day 3 pick or day 3 pick swap. But Justin Fields, no longer a Jet. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. And he is now headed to the Chiefs.
That is great news.
It's a good spot for him, for sure.
Yeah. I did not think we would be able to even trade him. So, I mean, that's great.
What was your favorite moment of the Justin Fields era? Was it when Woody Johnson said, if we could just complete a pass? Looked pretty good.
No, when he said that he didn't want to play at the end of the year, and then he also didn't want to play in the Pro Bowl. He's like, I'm not going to the Pro Bowl. Are you kidding me? Like, I'm taking an early vacation.
That was the right move by him. Jeez.
Was.
Respect for him on that end.
I would love if the Jets could somehow get whatever day 3 pick they get back in this deal, and Muji does Muji things and flips that into another Harrison Phillips type of player that they can add.
Yeah. Muji. Hey, listen, Muji stock keeps going up. There's no question.
Muji.
Frankie, is this the one you're looking for? No, that's Reese.
Yeah, let me play.
This is the one you're looking for.
It's the same game. Yeah, I have it. I'm not going to get flagged for it, Jake. This is like the coach's tape.
As long as it's coaching tape. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Frank, you want to do some film? I'll put it up on the screen. But first, for those just tuning in, Justin Fields traded to the Kansas City Chiefs. We will see what the Jet compensation is, but farewell to Fields, who quit on the Jets. Was a horrible free agent signing, and I will not miss him whatsoever. Let's see what the Jets got back here. Schefter, give us the trade terms yet. Let me do one quick refresh. Haven't seen it yet, but I'll keep checking. In the meantime, let's get to a little film action here. So let's get Frankie V's clip up. We had Sabo do some film. Now here's Tanky V's opportunity to make his case for David Bailey. Go ahead.
All right, cool. So I'm not going to go through the sacks that he's had because you can just YouTube them. I would recommend anybody, if you want to, look at some fun tape of David Bailey getting the quarterback, you could put that in. We could put up some plays. But this is the stuff that I've seen him do as a run defender that to me just says, okay, there's something there that you can work with, right? Like, look at him coming off the edge here, getting his hands, extending. Look at that extension with the one arm. I mean, he knocks this dude back. you know, he's flying off. He goes around and he gets in on the tackle. Like, if you can do this stuff, man, look at that. Look how he one-arms this guy, Robbie. I mean, we could say the same kind of things with Bailey at times.
Few and far between those plays. This is a good play, but few and far between.
That was one that I really liked. I'm not going to go there because that's it. Then this one here, I also liked him flying off the edge, getting inside leverage. Look, he comes in, he sees that, that kick out block. Go with your odd arm in, go and make a play. Like, saying that
plays.
Yeah. That was another play that I thought was just well done. As coach there, like just being able to just get in there and not be kicked out is big. This one here, I like this play here too. Him in space, right? This is an option. He has to read it. The quarterback probably makes the wrong read here, but he makes a play on right there. Then this is just him screaming in the backfield. I don't want to.
Well, where did he start on that one? Okay.
Yeah. Here is just he's got a physicality to him that I think is being underappreciated based on some of the washing out stuff, which happened. You're not wrong there. I'm not saying you are, but I mean,
what's the theme for all these plays? Like defensive structure wise.
I think they're just telling him to just be a one read pony on this one. I mean, he's just look at even the way he uses his hands there is good for shielding off pressure. No hesitation, just gets back. Like, he makes plays that are disruptive, man. And like, there was a reason he was second. I mean, this isn't like the best tape in the world, but like, he has tape where he does this stuff, Robbie, where like, he uses his hands, he makes plays at times.
Who was that opponent that won that one?
Honestly, I have no idea. Who is this? Was this that's Arizona State, right? Okay. Yeah, it's Arizona State. So, he has some leverage there. He's able to use his hands. He's staying in his gap. He washes the tackle down. Tackle hits into the running back. He gets in on the tackle. Here, him taking a double team. Listen, not the best tape in the world, but like, the technique there is good. You're getting low. You're not giving them much of a base. I remember we were taught to do this kind of stuff too against a double team. He stays in, and he doesn't get washed out as bad.
Mm-hmm.
Here is just pursuit ang. Like, I mean, come on, man. Like, this guy just loves playing football. Like, I'm not gonna hear like the patty cake stuff with him. Look at him just screaming off.
Oh no, he's soft. He's soft.
Robbie, soft players don't do this stuff.
Yeah,
he's this kind of stuff.
What? Chasing from behind, backside.
Robbie, he's a backside guy. I mean, like
Reese does the same thing. Bailey's
here's
objectively soft based on his Big 12 tape.
Here, he's keeping outside leverage. He comes in, he makes a play on the football.
Go back to the previous play.
Yeah, he gets
okay. Go slow. Go slow.
It's an outside scheme though.
Outside zone. Go slow.
Yeah.
Keep going. You gotta hold. He lets himself get washed out way too much. You gotta resist. That's a bad edge play.
It's not a great one. Here is him being rogue again.
I missed that one? Damn it.
Well, this is him being rogue. They taught him. Well, I'll show this one.
I've showed this one too.
Yeah,
they
have to have teach him to do this stuff. Like, everyone thinks, and this is to your point, everyone thinks this is some great play, which it is and it isn't.
It is.
Yeah. He's playing that 4-eye, right? He's playing inside, shoulder of the tackle. He gets around. I just, the whole soft thing with him, I just, if you look at his hold on, one more thing I just wanted to say. Robbie, I just cannot, seeing this guy play edge and the sacks that he's had, I can't play him because this is all like broadcast stuff.
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
Justin Fields compensation update. The Jets are getting a 6th-round pick back.
That's great.
From the Chiefs for Fields. How they were able to get a 6th is the Chiefs will take on $3 million of the $10 million Fields was guaranteed in 2026. So Tom Pelissero, the first to note, the Jets effectively offset both the cash and the pick they gave up to get a new starter, Geno Smith, by moving last year's starter. So they basically are allocating the same amount of money they would have had to allocate for Justin Fields if they kept him or just cut him, and what Geno Smith's getting them. And then they got the 6 that they gave up in the swap for the Raiders. So the Jets basically replaced Fields for Geno. Geno objectively better in every metric of being a quarterback, and got back the pick swap they made with the Raiders. So this to me is, again, Darren Muji showing he knows how to GM here, knows how to roster construct, asset management, all that. Obviously, it all comes down to they got to win games. Eventually, he's got to take his big swing at quarterback. But I like this a lot. You're getting something for Fields. I didn't think they could get anything for Fields. This is a creative way to do it. So good job by Muji. And who knows? Maybe the Jets take that 2027 6th round, or 20. Is it 2027? It's a 2027 6th round pick. So maybe they take that 6th round pick in 2027 and they use it in a deal to get another veteran player, as they've done multiple times under Darren Muji's tenure so far.
Yeah, I mean, you'll take it. Absolutely.
The Mooj
is killing it right now. Let's go.
All right. Do we have more film here?
Yeah, I got this. I'm gonna go through the same. Can you see my screen?
Yeah. I wanted to play those last couple clips, not to be so biased about Bailey also.
Sure.
So like those last ones are like he's jumping out of gaps, but that's, I think, him just trying to make plays and being a little bit undisciplined. That's just my take on that. You know, I want to be objective here to a degree. I don't see the soft thing with him. I really can't disagree with that.
You don't see his natural tendency to avoid blocks and go around as opposed to hold up.
But is that him being soft, or
Yes.
is that just him being undisciplined at the point of attack and not really,
Call it what you want.
understanding how to play against the run?
In other words, his most of this first play is not. This is a good physical run stop, or not run stop, but run play for his defense. But most of his positive run plays are in the mold of him pass rushing, and that it's just never going to work. But there's a theme to this film that you just played. Okay, there goes Bailey. This is more of an NFL edge type. He's still tight, almost in the 5. Inside. The play is designed for him to go inside. So it's a scrape exchange. Inside, edge, replacing him. So he's not really playing NFL edge here. See, this is the thing. Inside, gap exchange, scrape exchange, whatever you want to call it. And that's the theme with a lot of these plays. Now, this is a hell of a play. He got leverage, stayed enough to the outside, kept that free. Jeez, you guys hear that audio or no? I hope not.
No.
Okay. Strung it out. You love that play. I wish I could see the other angle on that one. But again, great play here. It's another gap exchange. There he is up top. String. Excellent. I think that's the best run play of this entire play. Now, again, inside, scrape exchange. 13 has edge. 13 is the edge, is the force here. He's in. Takes it on, outside shoulder. Perfect. Grabs him. More of an edge play. What's his responsibility here? Without seeing the other angle, I would guess the back. I'm not positive, but I would guess the back. I'm just not sure. Because he's so far outside, I would assume he has back, and linebacker, who's more third and a 30 right here, has the quarterback on any speed option. Does a linebacker take a step to the right? Instant step to the right? Not really. I would assume he has the back here. Solid instincts to cut it down. So it's not a bad play by any means, but you got to think about that in terms of responsibility. There, again, inside, everyone was slanting that way. So I just wanted to give everyone an idea of like where my mind goes. It's about his responsibility. And most of these, he's told to, remember watching Clemens with the Jets? How often fans would go, oh, he's giving up the edge. He's giving up the edge. A lot of those plays were designed for him to slant inside in a gap exchange and have a linebacker scraping over to the edge. And that's what I see a lot here, where it's not true hold up at the point of attack edge play, whereas Reese's is. Does that make sense?
It makes total sense. And you're not wrong with any of that. My thing with Reese is, and we're gonna have to pull up so much tape here and bore people to death, but I don't know if he's got a pass rush arsenal at this point. I haven't seen much of it. I know he's got the speed and the explosiveness, obviously. I don't know if Robbie, if he gets a big tackle in his way, I see him latch on sometimes and just try to play that speed to power over and over again, or try to do that one rip down move. And that's about where it ends. Obviously he hasn't done it enough, so I'm not like killing the kid for that. But, the pass rush moves you see from David, from Bailey overall are just, I think I could put some stuff up, Jake. I have one more thing.
So Reese has only had like a quarter of the pass rush opportunities, has less of an arsenal, and he still out projects the numbers.
But Robbie,
in the Big Ten.
Yeah, but those numbers are based on linebacker sacks too. Like you're
the Baileys are based on interior.
Not many. At a Bailey's, what do you have? 28. He had 28 sacks at Tech. I'm pretty sure 21 or 22 of those came from the edge. He definitely had some on the inside. Every
edge is classified, but edge is 5. The 5 Tech classified as edge too. I'm sure it is, and that's pretty much the interior where he has a force player outside of him.
I just don't know how, and I'm asking you this respectfully, obviously, everything here. I don't understand how we can make an assessment on Arvell Reese with such certainty at 2 that he's going to be an edge. I'd rather just, if you're going to draft him, I'd rather just play him at linebacker. Like, I think playing him at edge is from a pass rushing perspective, I think you're not going to get.
That's because you're just thinking about pass rushing. That's the problem.
It's the most important. It's one of the most important thing for a defense to do, Robbie.
No, it's not.
Why do you think edge rushers make as much money as they do?
Because it's silly. Because it's agents. It's sack numbers. It's sexy. That's not the way it works. How does it matter how does pass rushing matter if you can't stop the run? You have to stop the run to put yourself in those situations. One comes before the other.
Listen, there's something there, and I like that you're thinking outside the box with that. I think that's interesting.
It's not outside the box. It's outside the media.
To not say that getting to the quarterback and getting sacks and stop a 3rd and 12, you're playing Patrick Mahomes, right? If you give him a lot of time in the pocket, he's gonna find someone for a first down. Same thing goes with Herbert or Josh Allen. Don't you think having a guy on the outside without help or without a scheme that can just freaking fly off the edge and cause havoc, how's that not important? It's super important.
It's important. I'm just
it's like it's why Nick Bonito was one of the most important players in football last year. It's like I don't know.
It's important. I'm just not making it the one focus. It's one of very many important things. Like if you're playing Mahomes, yeah, you want that pass rush on the outside. But if you have the irresponsible one who just wants to get to the quarterback, he'll screw contain. And just one mistake, screwing contain, gives Mahomes 12 yards, breaking the pocket. That's with mobile quarterbacks in the NFL, the game has changed to such a crazy degree where that is so important.
You both have clips you want to show. Let me just get caught up on some super chats here. First, Knicks for life. Thank you for becoming a super ASMANIAC. You became a channel member. He is in the raffle for 2. For those who missed it, we're raffling away a signed Kevin Mawai jersey on the show. And here are the top 2 prizes in this upcoming week's weekly raffle. I got 2 and I'm adding more, but our top 2, a signed Curtis Martin helmet and a signed Garrett Wilson jersey. Jet Fanatic with a super chat. Rumor is the Giants are high on running back Love. Titans who picked 4 are higher on Love. What if we trade down the Giants and still be on players like Bailey, Bain, Styles, or even Downs? I find it hard to believe the Jets would be able to find a trade partner, Jets Fanatic, but if they can, I'm all for it. Appreciate your super chat. Aussie Jet fan says, Fields legacy game in Cincinnati. Yeah, that game, I mean, the ultimate outlier, that one, and week 1 against the Steelers, we'll never forget. Philly Noodle says, make Muji the Madden cover 2026. LFG Masterclass. Bang Mateo says, Reese disappears. 3 total tackles in a 5-game stretch. Black Gypsy says Bailey equals Clemens, LOL. Reese, Bain, Styles is better. Big fella, know who also jumps out of gaps? Michael Clemens. All right. I'm going to go back.
Is my screen still on? I just got one more quick thing.
Yes, I'm going to go back to you right now, Robbie. Set this playoff row.
They're comparing David Bailey to Michael Clemens.
Did he say Clemens?
I've heard a lot of stuff in the chat.
Was that my boy Black Gypsy?
No, that was big fella comparing Bailey to Clemens.
I mean, he does get penalties a little.
McDonald. I think McDonald's the better comparison, even though he's a lot stronger than McDonald. I'm not talking about body type. I'm talking about on the tape what they did at college. All right. Damn it. Dude, I got like 27 videos up right now.
This is
Texas Tech. Was it K-State? No, it was Utah.
You think we're going to know, guys, by the time draft day comes who the Jets are going to get at 2? You think something will leak out, or it'll be something we got to wait for it?
I think we'll have to wait.
Well, you think so?
The new days are so...
This one kind of feels like we'll have maybe a general idea by the time we get there, but...
They're so non-dramatic these days. You know what I mean? Like, remember back in the old day where it wasn't the slotted system? So you would have to negotiate with the guy previously. That's why the Arch Manning stuff from Francesa, I just don't understand. You can't make these power plays happen because it's the slotted system. You can't, threaten the team like you could in the past. But here we go. This is what I just don't understand.
Lou B, by the way, hold on. Lou B had a great comment in the chat. Jake, he goes, "These guys have both convinced me to take Jeremiah Love and trade Breeze." Robbie, we've
trade down. If you're gonna go in that direction, trade down.
If you're taking a running back at 2, shoot me.
So here's Bailey up top, and this is the more traditional 4 down, what he's not with the Jets, honestly. There'll be some 4 down looks, but Fano, you just can't get dominated like this. Like, you can't. I can't take a guy. Here
Fano
is
right. Good.
You're right. At number 2?
Fano's a good play, man. Fano's a beast, man. Fano's gonna go. He's gonna be a
top. But here's the thing. Here's the thing.
I'm not justifying. I'm just saying. Fano's
here's the thing. You can't lose this much ground.
Yeah. I agree with you.
Reese against Muaga, it doesn't happen. And if you want to talk about good tackles, here's Reese on the right. He gets locked up. He allows Muaga's hands to get around him. Yet he doesn't lose ground. He fights like hell. He maintains positioning. All right, down, cut, in, fight. Doesn't lose ground.
That's good.
I can't. I just. It's such a huge. If you Bailey on the Jets with McDonald's it's just a disaster.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to see what the trajectory is on both of them because they both would have to work on their run defense. Obviously, their leverage points, everything. That definitely. I don't know how long McDonald's going to be here, Robbie. They have until May 1st to decide if they want that 5th year. I think they're going to give him that. It's like 15, I think, 0.6 million. So, yeah, I have one more tape and I'm done. I'm all
one last clip in our debate. Let me update people on ASMANIAC Madness. We got a blowout going on, which is why we haven't had to say much. But Papa Jet cruising right now, 75-25 over Derek, the Kansas Jet fan. Vote, people.
ASMANIAC Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
This afternoon, we have Philly Noodles, the 6th seed against the 11th seed Australian Jet fan. It will be a battle unlike any other. Be here for all of it.
They wrote me off. I ain't right back, though.
Ladies and gentlemen, one final clip from Mr. Frankie V, and then we'll mix in a couple calls and super chats, and I want to talk more about the fact that Darren Muji was able to get a 6th-round pick for Geno Smith. Frankie, we all now can see your screen. Go ahead.
Yeah, so these are a few clips just showing the pass rush arsenal that David Bailey has. Just some of the stuff that he does, how he feels out leverage. This isn't my stuff. This is somebody on Twitter. But he just knows how to feel things out, and he's just, when it's time to get to the quarterback, he just is as good as a lot of guys are, honestly. Here he gets chipped. he feels a leverage point. He manages to do a little bit of a hezzy and get back inside with his foot placement and his leverage points. And he's just, he keeps working, which I think is something that
credit to my boys, the DBs on that one, because that play took forever. But yeah,
this is all spin move stuff. But then if you look here, this is not. I mean, this is just like when people say he's look at how aggressive he is here with inside leverage on this guy. I mean, this is a big boy, Kansas left tackle. I don't know who the guy is, but he's kicking the hell out of this guy. Like, look at this. He's controlling this guy at every point of attack. He's getting after the ball. He forced a fumble in this game too. He had 3 sacks. This is just the stuff that, like, when I look at what an edge rusher is, I definitely want plays like this. And this is littered all over the place with him as a rusher. It just is. He is so aggressive that I can't buy the whole narrative, Robbie, that yes, you're right with the run defense stuff. You're 90%.
I would say
right.
I would say it's everything.
It's not because he's soft though.
No, I would say it's everything. He's just soft and bad and everything other than pass rushing is what I would say.
Damn, soft and bad at everything other than pass rushing.
Yeah, and I mean Tyree Wilson tore the Big 12 up too. McDonald, Felix Uzama, KC.
Hold on, Frankie, respond to that. Is
Where
David Bailey soft and bad at everything besides pass rushing? I mean, that is a strong take by Sabo. You're on mute, Frankie.
Oh, I don't buy that, man. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's
so
fair.
You have no concern about the level of competition, the Big 12 with no Oklahoma or Texas, and the Big 12 just, being what it is right now.
The level of concern I have is how, Arvell Reese disappeared in his last 6 games of the season.
You mean on the box score or actually disappeared?
I saw the tape, Robbie.
We could bring it up right now. We just let the play.
Robbie, Robbie, it's impossible to show fans 6 games worth of stuff, but yeah, he did. I watched a lot of it.
We just went through plays in the last 6 games where
Robbie, he had 1 TFL in 6 games.
Box score.
Robbie, but
not
TFL,
football.
Daily average, but that stuff matters, Robbie. Like you gotta. I understand the gap assignment stuff. Yeah, the gap assignment.
It's more. It's
great.
more than gap assignment. It's
a lot of it is gap assignment. A lot of it is. I mean,
it's more than is what I'm saying. It's more than gap assignment.
I don't. We'll end up seeing what happens. I think the gap assignment stuff just gets a little bit when you're talking about an edge guy at 2, and we're showing him just jamming guys at the edge and just setting an edge. I get that's important, but there's not a clip.
That's the most elementary where you start. That is.
It's not where you want to end though.
The foundation, but you can't get to where you want to end up by taking the guys like Will McDonald and Bailey, who just are so narrow focused on one thing and one thing only. It's a sin the way people think and just look at sacks and call edge defender edge rusher.
Robbie, it's not Robbie. The guy, they had one of the best defenses, Texas Tech, in the nation last year. They almost went to the national championship game. Like, they were really one of the better teams in football. A lot of it was because of Bailey's ability to get to the quarterback. Like, let's not kid ourselves. Like, that stuff's not important. I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's like you're just kind of off-putting it. Oh, he had a higher pressure rate than any of the top edges that we have in the game right now. He had 28 sacks in his career. He's gotten pressures left and right, led the nation in pressures last year. The year before was top 10. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, he's going to get washed out against
your world. You draft Bailey. Are you starting him in the base?
I'm starting him at outside linebacker in the 3-4, and I'm putting a big boy next to him at 5 tech.
That doesn't do anything.
What do you mean?
He still has to play edge. He still has to do all the things football requires you to do. If he's getting moved around in the Big 12 that way, how the hell is he going to hold up in the NFL? It's not even a contest. He just can't do it.
Robbie,
he's not a 3-down player.
Right, but I showed this clip before. If Jay, can I just throw this up? If he's able to do this stuff, we showed it before. If he's able there, is this guy soft? Look, this guy's soft.
Yeah,
Look
because
this
is the rarest. This is the rare. This is one
rarest. Like
he doesn't do
it's not
this.
Fair.
It's a gap exchange. It's a gap exchange. He's not playing edge D here. He's playing inside. He's allowed to shock the offensive lineman because it's a gap exchange. He's slanting down.
What about here using his hands?
I told you this is the best one because it's in space. He strings it out. Here I got one where
This
it's a
one
negative,
here?
exactly like that.
I'm just saying. Listen, there are examples though. I mean,
Dude,
like it's not like he can't do it. I just think like you're
so
right.
rare.
Reese is better at doing it. No questions asked.
By
0%.
1,000%.
Yes, maybe. But if Reese, do you have a clip? Does anybody have a clip of Arvell Reese on his second or third pass rush move getting a sack on the quarterback? If somebody could share
second or third, so what? Coverage sack?
No. Like your first move doesn't work, and then you have to go to
Coverage
a second
sack.
or third move. Not coverage sack. It could be a 5-step drop. You just have to. Your first move might not work. The swipe down, and then you do a stutter, or then you might bust out a swim, or you might bust out a spin. Like that's a pass rush arsenal. Arvell Reese, there's no proof the guy has a pass rush. You want to call it like a pass rush tree? Like he doesn't have any of that. He has the little swiping outside, like clean lanes. He's good. Sonny Styles averaged more pressures than he did at playing edge. You know that, right?
So
Styles,
it's about their arsenal and how they look is what you're saying.
It's about the arsenal when you're playing edge because you're going to need that arsenal in the NFL to get pressure on the quarterback. How's this guy going to get pressure on the quarterback? By speed and just power?
And
at 245 pounds?
Why not?
At 240, you think those tackles when they get their paws on
Dude, you're talking about physicality with Bailey in the Big 12. You're trying to hype up his physicality in the Big 12, where there's one or two physicality run defensive plays in the Big 12, and you're going to challenge Reese.
I don't think Reese.
That's not a good
pass rush plan right now. I'm not saying he won't. Yeah, it's a pass rush plan. What? You don't think pass rush plan's a real thing?
Guess what?
Have you ever seen Aiden Hutchinson or TJ Watt rush or Myles Garrett?
Any legit
Garrett will
coach,
get shipped. They don't.
Any legit coach who sees a David Bailey, who talks about pass rush plan without giving two shits about run defense and doing the right thing for his defense, will sit his ass on the bench. That is bullshit. That is bullshit football.
It depends what kind of coach.
Horse shit football.
Robbie, I think you're thinking of this. Listen, I think you're, and I'm saying this again. I'm being respectful to you because I respect what you do.
Like seriously, though.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of this a little bit too much. Like
no, I'm just not thinking about it like a media member. I'm thinking about it like a coach.
Yeah, but listen, when I played ball, for example, we had an edge who literally did not care about doing anything but getting to the quarterback. And he did a damn good job of it. And he won us a lot of freaking football games at Colgate, a ton, because that kid could fly off the edge from Atlanta. Like that kid was Barack, I think his name was. He was awesome. And he like changed games. Yes, he would be out of position on run plays, but these edge guys, man, the Von Millers of the world, guys like that, they always have concerns anchoring against the run. When you fly off the edge, man, you get to the quarterback. That stuff wins you football games, man.
No, this is my screen sharing, Jake?
Yes.
This is the norm. This type of irresponsible play by Bailey. What are you doing? What are you doing?
That's undisciplined, but
this is the norm, not
show
the
it again.
exception.
Play it a couple times.
So let me ask you this first. What are his responsibilities on this play?
He went far, he went down, he went inside way too far. He's supposed to have B gap.
Well, actually, let's see what the nose and the okay.
Yeah, the
so
nose pin doubled. Yeah, he's got B gap.
It's pretty Texas Tech react attack for the most part. You see the nose, zero tech. And this is what Glenn was really going to go to mainly. You want to react. You don't want to, like Salah was the reverse. He was attack react, get downhill, get penetration. That's why counters and traps and screens worked so well against Salah and still do. This is the opposite. This is more 3-4 principle where it's react, attack, read the ear hole, eat space. So head up, tackle, zero tech. They're taking on the doubles. If I had to guess, I would say, again, it's one of those gap exchanges where they're slanting him hard inside. He's clearly not react attack, but you just can't be this disciplined. You just screw your defense. So you get a step. Now you have to get downhill. You have to take that physicality. He doesn't take the physicality. He tries to elude far too often. Great first step, but now get into him and get downhill.
You don't think that stuff's coachable at all?
It's innate. It's instincts.
So you think so? So what you're saying is that's innate instinct, but Arvell
I'm not saying it can't improve.
Getting a pass rush plan at all. Would you think, like, how many edge guys have you seen that have come into the NFL with limited exposure as an edge and they just figure out a pass rush plan? I think that stuff's more innate. That's like being like a wrestler. You ever hear like the best edges are like wrestlers? They just feel you out and they know how to.
But there's a huge difference.
Like, I don't know.
There's a huge difference in my mind. You're acting like Bailey is 100 out of 100 in pass rush and Reese is 0 out of 100. It's so much more closer.
I don't.
Whereas everything else non-pass rushing is a blowout. It's crazy different. Where Reese has the advantage. So again, I would draft Bailey. I just don't think he's anywhere near a top 10 player because you can't play him all 3 downs. Like, that's my biggest thing with him.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. Well, it'll be interesting to come back to this, I'm sure. In
absolutely. What about receiver? Who do you like more, Tate or Lemon?
I think I like Lemon a little more. I think Lemon, Lemon to me makes a lot of sense. I like Tyson ideally the more out of all 3, but the injury stuff scares me a bit, so I might shy away from him there. They're all so different. I was saying it yesterday. I'm like, if I could rank a receiver 1A, 1B, and 1C, which I would hate to do, but I mean, this is the year to do it. They're all, Lemon's your Amon Ra, Puka kind of style, across the middle, underneath. Okay, scheme him up, he'll get open, no matter what. And then Tate is your stop and go, kind of deeper guy, but a little bit better too in like the deep intermediary. And then Tyson's sort of like a little bit of everything, just kind of flavor it out all throughout. A little bit of sprinkle, you could sprinkle him all over the field. I could play inside, outside. He's very shifty with his movement. So yeah.
I'm pretty undecided on. I haven't looked at it enough. I got to be honest.
It's tough.
My default would be Tate, but I don't know. Like Lemon, you want like top round 1 or even close to top 15. You want explosive receivers because I feel like receivers deep every year, and Lemon's not necessarily explosive. So you really got to look at his tape, see how smart he is. That's the thing. I just don't know yet.
If you're one of the 614 people watching live, please hit the subscribe button. It is free. You're getting 4 hours of Jets talk on this channel Monday through Friday. You get a weekend show as well in the offseason. We're at 44,662. So please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. A couple super chats here. Then I'll let you guys run because this has been a very entertaining morning, and I want to get more into the Justin Fields deal. Veteran Jet fan says Sonny Styles is the only logical pick at 2. Jets added 2 well-paid edge defenders in free agency to go with McDonald. Styles, a gold jacket prospect. Would either of you have an issue if they took Sonny Styles at 2? Frankie, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'd have it. I'm not forgetting a linebacker at 2 overall. I think that's a stretch. I like Sonny Styles. Is he Luke Kuechly? Is he Ray Lewis? I think we're losing perspective of where we're picking. I mean, we could pick anyone in this draft. So I wouldn't be pissed, but I'd have an issue with it. I get why people are saying that, though. I mean, like, he's probably the best player at his position. I just don't value linebacker position. Plus, DeMario's here. Sherwood's here. I'm not only looking in this window, but like, where's he playing? I don't know. It just seems a little weird.
I agree. I think at 2, it's Reese all the way for me. But if we could have a Downs and Styles discussion, I wouldn't do it. He's a converted safety. He's being talked about. Like it's the underdog factor, I think, even in the draft. Like when he's not the favorite, when a certain guy is not the favorite, you get that underdog love sometimes. And I think Styles and Downs are getting it. He's a converted safety. There are some issues in terms of being heavy enough at the NFL level.
Yeah, I agree there. I love how athletic he is, and I've probably never seen a corner cover, seen a linebacker cover like he does. He covers like a corner at times.
Yeah, his coverage is great.
His coverage is amazing. So there's a lot to like there. I just think for us, it's just I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of taking a linebacker second overall.
Super chat from Common Country. AG was asleep during David Bailey's 40-yard dash. He was. So that means Bailey's not on the Jets draft board.
He should have owned it. Like if he's in that spot, just own it. Say, yeah, fell asleep. What are you gonna do? You know.
So Daniel Jeremiah's top 50 prospects as Aaron Glenn looks on for the Jets.
Rice is superpowered sleeping. Aaron, wake up!
Fernando Mendoza 1. Jeremiah Love, who we'll also see on Saturday here on NFL Network.
Oh, yeah. What a moment in time. The Rooster in the raffle for 2. We're giving away a Kevin Mawai jersey on our shows today. Make sure you enter for your chance to win. The Rooster says, if Bailey's so bad, why will he still go top 5? Getting sacked still important enough that GMs want to draft him. That being said, Reese can do everything. So, Sabo, why is Bailey still top 5? Why do some still think he's going number 2? If according to you, he's soft and he only pass rushes well and does nothing else well.
Because pass rush gets stuck in our mind. It's still valuable. I'm not saying it's not valuable at all. It's still definitely an arsenal, but I do think he's going to drop. I think we're still 5 weeks away. I think the more we get close, I think the more he's going to drop.
Really? Where do you think he's going to go?
I don't know. Now, am I?
You think we'll drop really, like the Commanders at like 7?
Maybe,
yeah, something like that.
Maybe. Now, listen, am I convicted in that? No. I'm just saying, if I had to guess right now, I think he might drop a little bit.
Gentlemen, job well done by each of you. I appreciate you coming on. 90 minutes back and forth. It was good stuff.
Yeah, man, dude. Kudos to Frankie. Much respect, dude. We in a lot of ways too, this is a trial run. Like we'll get, if we ever do it again, we'll have the film ready to roll.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, guys. I really do. It's not easy, you know. Everyone's gonna have their opinions, and it's good to flesh it out. I mean, I learned a lot actually looking at some of the stuff that, you know, some stuff's concerning, but whomever the Jets draft, man, we just gotta hope that they're a good damn football player.
There's never enough time.
I'm gonna root for Arvell Reese if we draft him, and gun to my head, we will draft him. I'll root for the guy. I'm not gonna be like, oh, we should have got Bailey. I mean, those
100%. Yeah.
Once the April 24th hits and it's a new day, you got to root for your guys. So
the Mooch. I believe in the Mooch.
Yeah, it's one of those things. There's never enough time, like on these topics. You just want to keep going, but you just can't do it.
Boys, appreciate each of you. Robbie Sabo, co-founder, JetsXFactor.com. Frankie V, co-founder of uSTADIUM, part of the Gangs All Here podcast with Brian Costello and Ryan Sampson from the New York Post. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you hopping on, gentlemen.
All right.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks. Later, guys.
Robbie and Frankie V with us there. I'm going to stay on, get to some super chats, get to your calls as well. Who won the debate? Normally, I'd say we'd run a poll, but we need the poll right now for ASMANIAC Madness, so we can't run a poll. You can comment. Jet fans, who won the debate? Robbie arguing on behalf of Reese or Frankie arguing on behalf of David Bailey? Let's get a little feel in the comment section. Hit the like button. We only have 220 likes and 607 people watching live. The math is not mathing, so please click the like button. That's the thumbs up icon that helps the channel continue to grow. Ted Ruggiero in the raffle for 4. Thank you, Ted, with this $20 super chat. If Arvell had such a high ceiling, what are the chances of trading back to, say, 6 to 7? What compensation would the Jets get back? Here's the tricky part with that, Ted. Our team's trading up for Arvell Reese. He's very good. He might be special. It's also kind of a weird class where there's not a clear consensus non-best QB. Or some will say it's Jeremiah Love, but he's a running back. I just would be very surprised if the Jets would be able to get a trade partner. Now, if they move back to 6 or 7, you're asking for a 1 next year. Or you're asking for at least 2 2s. A 2 and a 3. A 2 and a 4 this year, a 3 next year. Like, it has to be a lot. But I'd be very surprised if the Jets could find a trade partner out of 2. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Let's talk a little more about the Justin Fields deal before we open it up to your call. So the Jets, for those just tuning in, they got someone to take on Fields. They traded Fields to the Kansas City Chiefs for a 2027 6th-round pick. Given the fact the Jets owed Justin Fields $10 million, and they were able to get something for Justin Fields, I think this is a win for Darren Muji. To facilitate the trade, the Jets are paying $7 million of Justin Fields' $10 million guaranteed salary. Kansas City will cover the rest. This is similar to what the Jets did with the Raiders when they took on Geno Smith for $3.3 million. But let's look at it like this. Instead of just cutting Fields and getting nothing, the Jets actually saved around $3 million in cash, and they got a pick back. And we've already seen Darren Muji be able to take 6th-round picks and turn them into solid football players. Jarvis Brownlee was acquired for a 6th-round pick. The Jets got a pick back in that deal. You know what they did with that 7th-round pick they got from the Titans? They flipped it to Miami to guarantee themselves Minka Fitzpatrick, whose contract, by the way, came out today, and it's very team-friendly. Essentially, it's 2 years of Minka at age 29. I like that move a lot from a Jet perspective. But back to Fields. You got something for a guy who had no business being on your team. We all knew he was going to be cut. But now you don't have to designate June 1st him. Now you could just get something for him. Again, Muji has done a nice job with the trades. It's been his best strength as a general manager. Ultimately, he's going to be judged on his record. He's going to be judged on his quarterback decisions. And the Fields decision was a mess. I put it more on Glenn than him, but he's responsible for that. And let's see if they've learned from that decision. I think Geno's clearly an upgrade over Justin Fields. We'll see how they handle the draft this year and obviously how they position themselves for 2027. But the trades have been a home run for this general manager. Trading day 3 picks for proven players has been a big strength of his. Harrison Phillips, Jawan Briggs, Minka Fitzpatrick, Jarvis Brownlee, getting A.D. Mitchell in the Sauce deal, extracting 2 1s for Sauce, getting a 2nd and a 1st for Quinnen Williams, and making it so the Cowboys have to give the Jets the better of their 2 first-round picks they own in 2027, either their own or the Green Bay first. This has been the strength of Darren Muji's. He's done a really nice job in this area. We knew Fields, the second he got benched, he was done. To get anything for him, I think is a win by the Jets. So I am fully on board with this move. I mean, Justin Fields stunk. Let's call it for what it was. He was 2-7 last year. He had multiple games where he passed for under 100 yards, multiple games where he had under 65 yards passing. He was brutal. We don't need to pretend. So good riddance. See you later. He quit on the team as well. When they benched him and they asked him, hey, would you be available to be a part of some Wildcat packages to help the team? He said, well, it could be tough for me. You don't want to come in cold. It could lead to a soft tissue injury. Really, dude? They gave you $30 million guaranteed. You're a team captain. That's the answer. So this all goes back to the fact the Jets had no leaders on their team. I know people think Geno Smith, he was a mess with the Jets, immature, got punched out by his own teammate. He's not that guy anymore. It's a long time ago. He's a leader. Minka's a leader. You already had Harrison Phillips. You added DeMario Davis. You have leaders on all 3 levels of your defense. You added some experience on offense. So, given the the restraints that were on the Jets and the options available to them this offseason and how they kind of have to toe the line of Glenn needs to show improvement to be here, but Muji also has to be aware of the big picture. I think they've done that well this offseason, given the circumstances. So I am fully on board with this deal. I don't know how anyone could oppose getting rid of Justin Fields. Again, had the Jets just released Fields, they would have had to eat $10 million. By trading him, they take on just $7 million. Kansas City takes on $3 million, and they get a sixth-round pick back in 2027, which we've seen this GM have the ability to turn sixth-round picks into proven players that can help the Jets win games. Good move by Darren Muji and company. Well done by the Jet front office. Let's get to your call, shall we? Australian Jet fan will bat leadoff because we're unsure if he's going to be able to call in this afternoon. I don't know what time it will be in Australia when he's facing off against Philly Noodles on the afternoon show. So, Australian Jets fan, you're in the leadoff spot. What do you got?
It is almost. Oh my god, I'm pressing every button when I'm not trying to. It's almost 3 a.m. So I've set an alarm for like 5 hours from now. Is that around when the next show is going to be?
4:30 Eastern. I don't know what time that is for you. 4:30 Eastern. Zach Rosenblatt from The Athletic is my guest, and you will be, if you call in, Australian Jet fan, you'll be up first. You or either Philly Noodles will be on first.
Yeah. So I'll make sure to do the maths that after I'm not calling in. If we win next time it gets to this time, because this is normally around the time when I get on the show, around when you do your first show, I will belt the Jets chant out in the middle of the street, no matter what time it is, as loud as I can, if you guys vote me through to the next round. Also, if I win the whole thing, I'll shave my head and my beard. And the last thing I have to say before I say goodbye until hopefully the next show is, it's crazy to think that the Jets season peaked in the fourth quarter of week 1 with a Justin Fields rushing touchdown to take the lead against Pittsburgh.
Whoa, what a year it was, Australian Jet fan. And now your Justin Fields jersey's no good, but maybe you could get a Geno Smith on the back of it instead.
I don't know if that will last me much longer.
You'll get a year of it.
We'll see.
Well, I appreciate you making the call. Good luck this afternoon or in the morning for you.
Thank you very much.
They wrote me off. I ain't right back, though.
Good call there from the Australian Jet fan. Hit the like button if you guys are tuning in. More of your calls. Let's say hello to uSTADIUM fan. Hello, uSTADIUM fan.
So, Jake, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, it's first time caller, long time listener. I just want to preface my call with saying that I love your show, and you really truly have the pulse of this Jet community, and like us, we just want to see competent football by this team. You know, we have such low expectations for this team. We're hoping and praying for like 6 to 8 wins. You know, a 6 to 8 win season when other teams like Seattle, New England, Pittsburgh, they're looking to win it all. But you know, it's just but we appreciate you. I just want to let you know one side note. I met you at the Fanatics Fest in 2024, and Jacob Javits, and you were gracious enough to take a photo with me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you got it, man. Did I call you uSTADIUM fan then, or you have an actual name?
It's actually Joey R.
Joey R. All right, Joey. I've seen you in the chat before. Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you calling in. I'm going to put you in the raffle for 2, as we do for all first-time callers.
I was trashing Robbie Sabo because I really feel that Frankie. I think he gets it in the sense that the point I wanted to mention. I have on my board right here, my big board. Yeah, I wanted to mention that Bailey, like Frankie said, he's different. He's a different style of player. He's not that traditional. He's more like the Von Millers, like he said. I comp him to Von Miller because Von Miller in the NFL, he wasn't one of the best tacklers. He wasn't the best run stuffers. But you could tell he was an elite pass rusher, and that's what I feel. I feel like Bailey is like an NFL ready pass rusher. That's why I would like to take him at 2 because I feel Reese. Yeah, Reese. Robbie brings up some great points. That Reese is, he has great discipline in the run game, and sometimes in the pass game. He had like 2 pass breakups, but I just feel like he, not unlike Bailey. Bailey has like Frankie said, he has a plethora of pass rush moves in his bag. He has a spin move. He has an incredible. They call it the spin cycle, and he has a spin cycle move, which he puts you in the spin cycle, and the quarterbacks cringe. So, and unlike Reese, I feel like Reese, he's content to just sack the quarterback. But Bailey, he's not content to just sack the quarterback. He wants to strip sack, fumble recovery. He looks for it all. So for me, like he's the type of player for me I would want it too, because I know day one in the NFL, he's going to start producing. He may not be the greatest tackler, sure, and I'm not looking for him. To tell you the truth, the Jets are not going to bring him in here to look for him to tackle people. They're looking for him to sack quarterbacks, be disruptive, cause turnovers. We have no turnovers. We very rarely get turnovers. So for me, it's like if he comes in, I feel he's gonna like right away produce. And he has over his past 2 seasons, he has. I looked at his stats here, and his stats show that he has. Let me go back here. Yeah, so his stats, it basically 21.5 sacks over the past 2 years, 27.5 tackles for loss for the past 2 years, 8 forced fumbles, and 1 fumble recovery, and 4 passes defended in the past 2 years. So for me, he is more disruptive. And if you look at Arvell Reese in comparison, Arvell Reese, his stats are that he.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You're going to argue stats. Bailey's been more productive at college. He's also older and has more reps, whereas Reese played on a much better team. His role was completely different than what Bailey was asked to do. And you could argue the competition that Ohio State played better than what Bailey played. So it all depends what you're looking for. If you want just, hey, this guy, double-digit sack every year, I know I have him. All right, you could argue for Bailey. But Arvell Reese is the better, more rounded football player. And I like him that he's only 20. Like, I think Bailey's 23 already. What's Arvell Reese going to be 3 years from now? Like, think about the body in an NFL strength and conditioning program, what that could do for a player like Reese.
That's true. I just have this is one last point I just want to mention, which is I think is huge, and a lot of people are already talking about it. AG has this year to prove that he can bring this defense back together and win games. He has to get to 7 wins or he's gone. For me, Bailey will help him to get to those 7, 8, maybe even 9 wins because of how elite he is as a passer, and he's already NFL ready. For me, Reese is great, and I think he has the potential to become an elite pass rusher, but he doesn't have it all ready right now. He doesn't have all the pass moves, the pass rush moves that Bailey does. Bailey comes with a plan also, so he doesn't even have it. Like Frankie was saying, he comes with a plan. Reese has to learn a plan. The coaches have to coach him up. For Bailey, I believe he already is a natural pass rusher. He understands what it takes to get to the quarterback. I mean, he may not, be the greatest, greatest against the run, of course, but I don't think AG is going to take him as a elite NFL pass rusher just to tackle running backs, right? He's there to sack quarterback, disrupt plays, and bring wins to him now. And I believe, Reese will maybe eventually do that. But how about if he gets fired? If he only wins 6 games, he gets fired. He can't even develop Reese in the future.
But that's, Joey, good call, man. Appreciate you making it. Call back more. All right. I love the passion. I think that's where Muji has to see the future, right? That's where he's got to steward the franchise towards. It's not just about 2026. And also, I do agree with Sabo. I think Reese is probably a better rusher than he gets credit for. He just wasn't asked to do it as much. But if you do look at the efficiency when he was asked to do it, he was really good at it. So, again, I see the argument for both sides. I lean with Reese, though. I have been convinced on Reese. All right, I got time for a couple more calls, then I got to run. Let's do Doc Jet Fan, who is up next. What's up, Doc?
Hey, good morning, Jake. Thanks for taking the call. By the way, your take on the Fields thing, I have an idea for a new T-shirt, Moogenius, because enough said about that. with regard to the discussion about your edge defenders, let's agree that we don't make these picks in a vacuum. This isn't Madden 2026. We're trying to build a roster. And having said that, when you don't need tape to look at the Jets defense last year, they were the worst team at setting the edge I've ever seen. Michael Clemens was a walking collision without any ball awareness, where the ball was going, who had the ball. And I think McDonald is the classic edge rusher, not the edge defender. If you're going to keep, originally I thought that McDonald was NFL, not for long. I thought they were going to get rid of him. And it make the assumption that they're going to keep him. And he's a straight pass rusher. You've got to take Arvell Reese to defend the edge, because McDonald gives it up all the time. And again, trying to put a roster together, having both those guys, I think you have to take Reese. All due respect to Frankie, but if you watch tape and you look and say that Arvell Reese is not an edge defender, I don't know what you're looking at, because with his power, his speed, and his awareness, and also discipline, which is really important, not to just sell out on the rush of the quarterback, I think it's a no-brainer. But that we've discussed it, quite a bit. It sounds like you might agree on Reese. One quick take, though, as an aside. So I was in New York City for the half marathon. My son ran in it this weekend. You happen to note, I know on X, that Mike Tomlin was at the Knicks game. How can you beat it? Like, the energy of the Knicks down 21, he gets to see the Knicks come back to win. I wish Mike Tomlin had been able to go to the marathon and feel the passion, the energy, the excitement in New York City when there are a couple 100,000 fans lining, near Central Park, and watching the 28,000 people who ran. I would love him to extrapolate that to 2 million fans in the Canyon of Champions when he comes here. Look, I wish Aaron Glenn every success. I'm a Jet fan. I don't want to see this turnstile. I hope Aaron Glenn wins 13 wins, is the ultimate outliner, wins 2 of the next 3 Super Bowls. But if it doesn't happen, the energy that I felt watching this marathon yesterday, I could just imagine what it would be like for a Jet Super Bowl. I would love it.
Doc, from your lips to God's ears, excellent call as always. Mike Tomlin was at the Knicks game last night. Now, the Knicks need to stop playing with their food. They need to actually take teams seriously at the start. I like Mike Brown challenging them after the game, but this wouldn't happen with Thibodeau, let's be honest. That's the difference. That doesn't mean Mike Brown has done a good job overall, and the Knicks are in a better spot with the roster than they had a year ago. But the way the Knicks played that first quarter in Utah the other night, and playing a Warriors team last night, missing their 8 players in their rotation, including Jimmy Butler, Steph, and Draymond, give me a break. But Mike Tomlin was at the Garden last night. John Harbaugh was there a couple of weeks ago. I was at the game. He got a huge ovation. Mike Tomlin will get one too when he's the Jet coach a year from now, eh? Before we continue here, there's a comment from Fins OX. Doesn't matter who you draft or who you're getting in free agency, it's the Jets. This is my favorite part of Dolphins fans. You are just as bad as the Jets. We at least know the Jets stink. But the Dolphin fan acts like they're the Patriots. They're the Bills. You won nothing. The last time you won a playoff game, Bill Clinton was the president of the United States. The Jets, who have not made the playoffs in 15 years, have won 6 since the last time your miserable franchise won a playoff game. So sit this one out, you bum.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the ASMANIACs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
Last chance to join the raffle. I got time for Tristan and then Philly, and then we're wrapping here. What's up, Tristan? Unmute your mic.
I'm glad you can see that from the top. Jake, I guess my super chat was a little mean, so I understand why you didn't read it, so I'm going to try and keep it PG here. I
didn't see it. There's no super chat from you.
I had to switch. A moderator shut me down earlier, and then I had to switch Google accounts to the OG Jamaican Rude Boy one, but it's all good. I'm gonna try to be nice. I feel like Robbie purposefully goes against the grain just so that he could get views, comments, and different things. Because I don't understand, Jake, like how somebody as a football fan and somebody who knows this team and watched this team play last year can say they want David Bailey on this team so that we could have another player that totally disregards anything that matters to football other than himself. He plays patty cake if the ball is not going the way that he wants it to go, which is a pass rush. He knows that he's not going to be effective in the run, so he takes plays off. Some of those plays that Frankie was showing where he's saying, "Oh, look how he pressed up this defender and got to the tackle. This is great run defense." 6 yards had already been gained on that play against Arizona State. And then on the next play that he played, if we run it back, there was another 4 yards that had already been gained before he was effective in the play. Robbie Sabo knows that in an elite defense like Matt Patricia, you're going to be asked to do certain things, and if on your menu for that specific play or that specific coverage is not to rush the quarterback, then that's what it is. And then you already alluded to it in about 5 minutes ago when you said the percentages of win rate when Arvell Reese is at edge versus David Bailey is almost identical, if not better. The efficiency rate is there for somebody who has to line up at edge. So we have gotten in free agency bigger bodies to play on the outside of that 3-4, and then in certain situations he could get down on the ground, and in other situations he'll be setting the edge as a stand-up linebacker, and that's what we need. We don't need another Will McDonald. The other guy, he looks like a nice guy. It was his first time calling in. He's like, oh, his spin move. We already have a player with an elite spin move on this team that could get to the quarterback if he had help or bodies that could occupy tackles and guards inside. And that is Will McDonald. Put him on we already have David Bailey on this team. Somebody who's fast, somebody who's efficient to get to the quarterback, and somebody, and the only thing about Will McDonald is he will play hard and he will do whatever he can do on a running play to be effective. If David Bailey is on this team, I do not know if I could have faith in Aaron Muji anymore. And I love everything that he's done so far.
you want Reese then?
Yes, absolutely. If David Bailey,
Well, that's what Sabo wants.
I'm going against Frankie V. I said Frankie V.
But you said at the beginning, Sabo goes against the grain.
No, I said I meant to say Frankie V goes against the grain. I apologize.
Oh, okay. That's why I was confused. I was like, but you're making Sabo's argument for him. Yeah.
No. And then even Frankie V at the end of it was making Sabo's argument for him. He's like, oh, I see that he's always in position. I see that he's always in the right place. But he's the type of person that if he could be married for 5 years and a beautiful girl flirts with him the night off and he finally sees something, he's like, oh my God, I'm getting so much attention. And then he cheats because something beautiful is looking at him and it flashes by him for 5 minutes. That's what David Bailey is. He's a flasher. And I want somebody who's going to consistently make a play or stop somebody for a 2-yard loss, stop somebody for a 2-yard gain. And his successful running tackle is not a 6-yard gain for the other team. That's his best. And that's trash.
Tristan, good call, man. I appreciate you. I'm up against it. I got to run, but I got time for one more call. And I'm only squeezing this guy in because he's in action this afternoon. He needs your votes. It's Philly Noodles. He closes us out. Hello, Philly.
Hey, what's going on, dude? Look at Frankie being the contrarian. Of course, he's always got a battle ahead of him. I kind of felt bad, but then at the end, I just can't because in the end, it's like what the last caller just said. It feels good to always have a pass rusher coming in out of nowhere, but if you can't stop the run, which the Jets had all these issues doing in these past few years, then what's the point? And you get a jack of all different trades out of a player like out of Reese, and either way, you look for potential at two, not just output. Because if you wanted a guy who can defend the edge at just pass rushing, there's a boatload of them in this draft class. Like there's a lot of day two guys for that purpose. So I'm cool if your upside is saying, oh, we get you get a good pass rush every now and then. And when he compared him to Nick Bonito, my thing is Nick Bonito better than him? Could he beat Nick Bonito? We don't even know. We're not even sure. So, I mean, if Reese is the freak talent, it is what it is. You draft potential at 2, then trade out if you're really that unsure if you have Mooj. But Mooj is killing it today, the mastermind again. Everybody, Australian Jets fan, I feel bad. You know what I mean? He may not be there for that call, but man, the kid putting the spirit in there, calling while he's falling asleep at 3 o'clock in the morning is crazy, dude. Yeah, big ups to him. Let's go, everybody. I mean, I usually don't say vote for me, but you know what? I want to see myself hit the second round here. So let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, quite the pitch from Philly Noodles.
ASMANIAC Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
Vote, vote, vote. Your vote determines who advances. Before we close voting in this morning's battle, I should say, Derek, the Kansas Jet fan, who's in action right now, wanted to gift one last membership to the community. Derek, you're the man.
They wrote me off. I ain't right back, though.
Derek's not going to win today, but don't write him off because next year, when he starts calling and calling and calling, he only recently started calling, be a lot higher than a 13 seed. That is for sure. A couple super chats, then we wrap. Knicks for Life says, who's your number one ranked player in the draft? I believe it's Reese. You know, I'm not a scout. I'm not like a draft guy. I haven't done like a big board. I have favorites. Like, I think you could argue that Styles is the better just pure football player than Reese, but I wouldn't take a linebacker at 2. I still would lean Reese. And I like Caleb Downs, but I can't take a safety at 2. But I haven't done like who's the best player, that type of thing. So it'd be disingenuous if I just made something up for you, so I won't. Spencer Green writes in with a super chat. He's in for 2. It's coming a snowstorm in the mortal hell in Alabama. It was 75 yesterday. We had the same thing here in New York. It was 70 back-to-back days last week, and then it was in like the 30s the next day. Thanks for your time. Beastbreaker for life. Let's go, Asmaniacs. Let's go, Glenn. Gino taking us to the bowl. Woohoo.
They wrote me off. I ain't right back, though.
Spencer Green on the drugs this morning in Alabama. Thank you for the super chat. Tyrone in the raffle for 2. Thank you, Tyrone. Well, we got a 7 for Fields. No. They got a 6 for Fields, Tyrone. Even better. We're halfway through March. Can't wait to see the draft. Go Jets. Knicks need to get it together. Knicks need to just stop playing with their food.
Yeah.
Derek, the Kansas Jet fan, gifted a membership, and so did Marine Jet Vet. Let's go.
Nunchy. Wiki.
In the raffle for 1 is Marine Jet Vet. All right, let's close out voting. Congratulations are in order to our man, Papa Jet. He advances to the round of 32. 76-24, big win by Papa, the 4 seed in a rout over the 13 seed. Congrats to Papa Jet on his big win. 473 total votes were cast during this stream. Again, this afternoon, we got Philly Noodles taking on Australian Jet Fan. Here's your first look at the latest bracket for the Dangerous Alliance region. You'll see Adam is too cool versus Papa Jet is now set in the round of 32. And we'll find out who Philly Noodles and Australian Jet Fan will be playing on the show tomorrow. We got Mad Max and James B then. But again, making our way through each region. Kyle Clifton, Rob the Jet Fan, Peter Castro, David T, Ricky NY Lane, Chef Kevin Neal. Making our way through the Dangerous Alliance region. And then we get to the Extraordinary region, followed by the Grown-Ass Man region. That does it for me. Big thank you to everyone who tuned into our show. We'll be back this afternoon. Hold on, at the buzzer, Derek says, good game, Papa Jet, my guys, JETS. Derek, thank you. And how about our man, Cisco Lopez, who won a Joe Namath signed helmet? Cisco, I got a shipping notification. It is on its way. He gifted 5 at the literal buzzer. Let's go.
The Jet fans getting a little crazy.
All right, that does it for me, ladies and gentlemen. Beast, say the final words to the people.
The hell you wake me up on? Well, enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you very much. Yes. All right, that does it. Hit the like button on your way out. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. 4:30 Eastern, Zach Rosenblatt from The Athletic is my guest, so be tuned in then. I'll talk to you guys soon. JETS, Jets. Beast? Beast? Wake up.
You all think this is a joke to you. Sure, I don't have a daughter right now because she's turned out to be an asshole. And then AI God all of a sudden? I don't think so, Pally. I've worked for 3 companies, AAW, APW, and BCW. What part of the planet are you on? Playtime is over.
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane, and if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go Jets!